Hey guys, welcome to the Roaming Homer podcast. I'm your boy Caleb. That is Francisco, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Hey, on today's episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about NFL rumors and OTAs and some changes that may be coming up in the NFL. We're going to be breaking down over the next several episodes the different divisions of the football NFL league and talking a little bit about their predictions of where they may stand at the end of the year. And then we're going to end the episode with our Be a Roaming Homer part. And so we are just excited that you are here with us. So without further ado, let's roll the intro. Francisco, my guy, what is happening, man? It's been a couple weeks since we've been back. So what's new, man? What's popping?
Just coming off Memorial Day weekend. Got a little 3-day weekend before hitting back to the grind today.
Yeah.
NFL. It's always a hot stove. It never slows down. Rumors. People getting signed to extensions. So it's a whole bunch of things to talk about.
Yeah, man. We got OTAs have started. Lots of stuff sitting around the topics of OTAs. Who's at OTAs? Who's not at OTAs? I know my boy Tua wasn't there to begin with, and then he shows back up because they're going through a whole contract thing, and who knows what's going to happen with him in regards to all of that. I believe they're going to end up paying him. I hope they don't overpay him. And I've got my personal section for the Homer section, and I'll leave it at that. But one of the things is I'm reading here, Bleacher Report is talking about Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are not at Cincinnati OTAs. Talk to me. What are you thinking about that with the Bengals and Joey Burrow coming back off of injury, but you don't have your two weapons there at OTAs? What signals does that say?
Money. They want to get paid or trade. That's what it comes down to. Paid or trade. If they're not happy, it's always money. That's what it comes down to. They see all these guys getting signed to extensions, big money deals. The market's already been set for these guys, and they want a piece of the pie. The Bengals are notoriously one of the cheapest franchises in the NFL. They do not like playing their players. The only reason Burrow got his money is because he's Burrow. He took him to a Super Bowl, already in the NFC Championship game. So the guy is their guy. They're going to pay him. They need him, but they feel like they can put other pieces around him that could mesh well. But my thing is just pay your guys. If you have the money, pay them. It avoids a lot of mess going into the season. We don't have, uncertainty when it comes to Joey Burrow having his weapons. It's not a good look. It really isn't. It's not a good look on the organization, but it's also not a good look on the players. They're both equally at fault right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm reading here that they franchise tag T. Higgins, guarantees him almost 22 million, 21.8. That was to keep him from going to free agency. And I'm a fan of the franchise tag, but I'm not a fan of the franchise tag. It's a two-way street. As a player, I wouldn't want to be franchised because basically you're just putting a number on me so that I don't go and try to possibly get what I'm worth out of the market. From an owner's standpoint, I'm securing it to see if I can get the money for you. I think there's two sides of every story when it comes to that. But Joey Burrow is coming off of his injury, set to make a comeback because he was doing really good last year, got hurt. He's going to come back off of this. And now you don't have these two guys showing up at OTAs on good faith. And it's a business. I mean, you wouldn't work for free. I wouldn't work for free. But of course, they're not working for free. So, it looks like Higgins, I'm looking here, Higgins was looking for a 3-year, $70 million contract that Pittman signed with the Colts. Is he worth it? Is he worth $7 million?
How much of it is
3
guaranteed?
years?
How much of it is guaranteed? That's what it comes down to.
That's true.
It's all about the guarantee. These guys, listen, the NFL do not, for the most part, do not guarantee contracts, period. Now, you have some guys that have gotten around that. Deshaun Watson has his contract fully guaranteed. I know a couple years back, there was a Viking player that had his contract guaranteed as well. You're not getting guaranteed contracts like that. You can get close to it, but you're not going to get a fully guaranteed. So these guys have to play for the bonus. They have to play for the signing bonus because
Mm-hmm.
that's where they're going to make the majority of their money. Period. If
Yeah.
they get hurt, they can get cut, but they still get their bonus money. So I see the reason why he's holding out, because if he's playing on a tag, don't get me wrong, that tag is fully guaranteed. The tag is fully guaranteed. Period.
Mm-hmm.
They have to
Mm-hmm.
pay him the $22 million. But after that, if he gets hurt on that tag, guess what? Now he's gonna have to sign for a discount, because now these guys can say, "Hey, you were hurt. I don't know if you're worth
Right.
that money now because you may not be the same player." So then he's gonna have to
Right.
sign a shorter deal on a show me deal.
Right. Yeah. I think that's where they stand. It's kind of like that kid in college who's going to be a first rounder and decides to go back his senior year and gets hurt. So do they leave their junior year? Do they go back for that ring because they were almost there? I think some of these Ohio State guys that do you leave? Do you stay? It's always that tension of, I want the ring, I want the notoriety of winning that national championship, but I don't want to blow out my knee and all of a sudden I went from a number 1 draft pick to a number 10 or 20, and now I'm on a team that I don't want to be on, and I've got to rehab all of this, maybe not get the money that I want. So it's a crazy thing. I mean, you've got Justin Jefferson out there, right? Rumors around him. They were talking about trading him during the draft and getting rid of him. But then now they're also talking about a big payday for him. Listen, if they don't sign that dude to a large contract, they're crazy.
Well, they're
They're
stuck with
crazy.
him. They're stuck with him now. So here's what I heard. From what I understand, they were trying to jump the Giants to get Neighbors. If they would have jumped the Giants and got Neighbors, Jefferson would have been gone. They wouldn't have
True.
kept him. Neighbors would have been the guy. They would have, but the Giants got him. They didn't leap, and now they're gonna have to pay this. They're gonna have to pay Jefferson. They're gonna have no choice but to pay the guy,
Yeah.
because trust me, all the players hear the rumors. They hear everything. Their agents tell them, friends and family tell them. People are always in their ear, so they're gonna have to pay him to keep him happy now.
Mm-hmm. So I'm reading on this right now, yardbarker.com, talking about somebody reported that Jefferson wants to be, quote, and I quote, wants to be paid like some quarterbacks and could want close to 100 million fully guaranteed money. Fully guaranteed.
He's not a quarterback.
What's your thoughts on $100 million
No,
wide receiver
no.
fully guaranteed?
No, he's not a quarterback. His position is, let me tell you something. His position is a valuable position. He is not
Very much so now.
he is not the quarterback. The quarterback is a game changer. You have guys who can make something out of nothing. Look at Mahomes' receiving core. His receiving core wasn't all that during
Right.
the Super Bowl run, but he
Right.
made things happen. If you have a star quarterback, you can put a mediocre wide receiver on the field and make things happen with that media. Tom Brady did it through his whole entire career. He really only had one or two
I want to
stars.
combat though you. Justin Jefferson is another level. He's another level, right? So I think of guys like that. I think of guys like Megatron. I think of guys like Jerry Rice, uh, Michael Irvin. These are difference makers on the field. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be an absolute difference maker. Tyreek Hill, difference maker on the field, right? Though they are in a I agree with you that a wide receiver is not a quarterback position, because a quarterback has to do multiple things to earn that money. They are the essential game manager, that term that we hate using, but it is true. They're the captain of the ship, so to speak, on the field. So they're handing off, they're determining who the ball goes to based on coverages and reads. And I'm not downplaying wide receivers because I love the position. I coached it for years. Wide receivers run a route and then they may make an adjustment with that route, and then they make the play when the ball is in the air, coming back to the ball, what we call Randy Moss, Moss and somebody over the top. They are difference makers. There's no doubt that Tyreek Hill's speed is a difference maker on the field. But you can see he can do that with multiple quarterbacks, whether it's a Pro Bowl quarterback, Super Bowl quarterback. I think he could probably do that with a mid-level quarterback that could get him the ball. I'm in agreement with you. I would not give Justin Jefferson $100 million guaranteed. I'd give him $100 million with some incentives. I think any of these positions need to be a show me position. You want the money? Go out there and do it. Go out there and do it. Because you could not show up to work tomorrow and still get paid and guaranteed money. That's not what I want to put my money on. So I still think he needs to get paid. He will get paid in Minnesota. He's the only option that they have. But I'm in agreement with you. There's no way that $100 million guaranteed for a wide receiver is out of this world.
Yeah, because then now they're going to set the market. Once he gets that contract, they just set the market. You're going to have every prima donna, every wide receiver come out of the woodwork to say, I want $1 more to make me the highest paid now.
Right.
You're going to have guys that want to read. You can't listen. Football is a very violent sport. It is. But these guys know what they're getting into from the time they play Pee-wee League all the way up to the pros. They know the pitfalls. Okay. They know the contracts are not guaranteed. I get it, the big bonuses, but $100 million guaranteed for a wide receiver who's not doing the majority of the work on the field. He's not the one who has to run for his life after 3 or 5 seconds drop step to try to get the ball out of their hands to somebody to take over.
And they're not making the split decision either. They might be the number one route, but the quarterback has to go to the third because somebody was in the way. He saw that drop coverage by the outside linebacker. It's all of the mental game. And I think of like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, those cerebral assassins that are sitting back there able to pick you apart the way that they did for so many years. Yes, those are people. We're talking, I mean, big time money. Jared Goff got paid. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. He got money. And now we've got Tua has rejected one contract, coming back for another. This perpetual keeping up with the Joneses with all of these contracts. I get it, guys. This is your life. This is what you do. This is what you train for. This is what you eat, sleep, and breathe. But listen, just like any other job out there, if I was to get a raise and somebody says, I'm doing the same job, I want $1 more. I want to be the highest paid manager. I want to be the highest paid salesperson. That doesn't work in the real world. It does in this because you're an icon status. We put you at an icon status. But at the end of the day, it's this keeping up with the Joneses stuff, man. It's the money they're making is absolutely insane to me. It's absolutely insane. It's crazy. And what rumors are you hearing on there?
And they still can't keep it. Look at Antonio Brown. He's filing for bankruptcy. 800. What did he make? $88 million over his career, and the dude is filing for bankruptcy. You know why? Keeping up with the Joneses. Gotta have the
give
big
me
house,
$8 million.
Like, it's insane to me, these guys. And then they blame, and then not to shift, just to shift a little bit, like Draymond Green in the NBA talking about the fines are not are not helping us set up to be rich after we get out of the NBA. Are you insane? Are you out of your mind? Your contracts are guaranteed. You have guaranteed contract. I could see the NFL, those guys wanting those big deals because those signing bonuses are going to secure their future. But come on, man. Listen. People are starving, literally starving right now. People are living off ramen like they're back in the college days because food is so expensive. You can't even there's no dollar menu anymore. You can't go to Mickey D's, and then you can't even buy regular food to stay healthy because it's so expensive. But these guys want this. They're out of touch. Reality has lost them.
So, I mean, you bring up Draymond. I mean, this is an NFL podcast, and I get it. This is a football podcast, but let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about my boy's a Golden State fan. He's been a fan for years. I'm a Curry fan. I love Steph Curry, and during their run, they were doing some great things. And now you could see the dynasty of the Golden State Warriors. It's over. It's over.
Oh, yeah,
whether it's Steve Kerr's time, Klay Thompson's kind of fallen out, and all of this. But listen, 72 games, they do a lot of work day in and day out doing their thing. I get it. But Draymond, brother, you going to talk to me about fines? Stop being a douche on the court. That's it. That's how do you stop getting fined? You think the fines are bankrupting you? Stop being that dude. Just straight up stop being the dude. Now, to me, the ticky-tack stupid fines, like in the NFL, are the color of your socks. You're getting fined because you didn't wear socks. Who cares?
Or your laces are the
Who,
wrong color.
who cares? Who cares? It reminds me of that story with Michael Jordan in Nike, right? When they made the Air Jordans and they made them red and black. Back in the day, you had to have 51% of your shoe to be white in the NBA. Home Dude came out with a red and black high top. Stood out like a sore thumb because he was the only colored shoe that was out there. You know what Nike said? We gonna pay your fine every game. Every game. Until they changed the rule. The NBA changed the rule because of Michael Jordan and Nike. And now today they have sneakers all over the place. Everybody's got their own sneakers. So sometimes you have to do the things in order to get fined to make a change. But I mean, you brought up Draymond. He gets on my nerves so much on that court because he just does things and just argues for the sake of arguing, and he brings it on himself. So yeah, that's that.
And you know what's crazy?
You ain't broke because of the fines.
And you know what's crazy to me? These guys in the NFL, I think they have to be in the league 3 years to get vested in their retirement for the NFL, because remember it's not for long league. So I think it's either 3 years or 5 years you become vested in the NFL retirement program. Bro, OJ was clearing $25K a month. $25K a month in retirement. So you telling me if he was clearing $25,000 a month in retirement from when he played, imagine what these guys are going to be clearing now. And you guys are crying about money. You guys are crying about money because you guys are spending it faster than you can get it. You know what I mean?
The smartest guys out there are doing things outside of football, making a name for themselves, building charities. Kuechly, I know McCaffrey's out there doing his thing. Russ Wilson's got his stuff. Like all of these guys that have these 501c3s, these charities that they do, these nonprofits, they are earning money off of those, but they're investing back into themselves. They got a lot of business sense. Tom Brady, TB12. Whether I'm not going to buy his supplements. By the way, did you watch the roast?
Oh man, he got lit up.
Bruh.
Dude,
I couldn't take my eyes off of it.
He got lit up. Nikki Glazer, she roasted the hell out that.
She's the best. She is the best roaster. I mean, they say Jeff Ross is. Nikki Glazer is the best roaster that I've ever seen. She's the best roaster.
Hurt feelings, man. He was like, he felt bad for his ex after that because they were roasting her so much.
I mean, they were roasting.
He didn't feel bad for her. He's just saying that so he stays on good terms with her because of the kids. That man was enjoying every minute of that. The only thing was hilarious. Only thing he took offense to was the joke with they did about Kraft. That was it.
Yeah. But it was fun to see Belichick come up there and actually do some dad jokes or something stupid. Like I was like, you actually trying to be funny? You're Belichick. You ain't funny. So and then Kraft gets up there probably half drunk saying his stuff.
It was fun. Edelman. It was good. It was
a good time. It was a good time.
And then Eli had to dig in too because he didn't go to the roast. He said he didn't want to go to the roast because he didn't want to beat Brady beat Brady down for a third time.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Love it.
But he got up there and he defended himself pretty well. So that was fun to watch. So, but that was an amazing roast. It was an amazing roast. All right, man. Well, let's transition a little bit. We're going to take a little bit of time, as we said, over the next several episodes here, and we're going to sprinkle some of this in. But we're going to take a look at the divisions of the NFL. So we're going to start with the AFC East. It's usually the division that's on the top of the list all the time. And we're just going to break it down. We're not going to go game by game and say what we're going to win, loss, or whatever. Maybe that's another episode for another day and another time. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the AFC East. We're going to take Bills, Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots. We're going to take a look at their their schedule. Let's pick out a couple of key matchups. If you got the schedule up there, let's pick out a couple of key matchups for the Buffalo Bills. Last year going 11-6, 11-6, and obviously they play the AFC East rivals twice. But let's take a look at their schedule. What do you see on here as one of the marquee matchups for them?
Well, I mean, it's always when you play the AFC East plays each other. It's always, to me, it's going to be uh, Buffalo against the Jets. And the reason I say that is because that's always a big game. But it all depends on how healthy Rodgers is. If he's anything like he was a couple years ago, I think there's going to be prime matchups. I think it's going to be, like I said, the Jets and Bills, and then the Bills and Miami, because I think it's the AFC East is going to be determined by those two teams. I think the Jets are going to finish third in the division, and New England's going to finish dead last this year.
Yeah.
But those are to me, those are the major matchups.
Yeah. I got two key matchups going on for Buffalo. These are home games, by the way. Are the Niners. They got the Niners at home. They've got another rematch with the Chiefs at home. And then away, you're looking at Houston Texans, I think is going to be a key matchup, maybe Baltimore. These are all outside of the division. I think those are going to be the key matchups there. I've got the Bills repeating at 11-6 respectively. I think that's a little high. I think they go 10-7. I think with some of the losses that they've had, I don't know if they've recouped enough to be on the top of the division. I'm not trying to be a homer since this is my division. I just don't know if they got it in the tank. I think they go. I'm gonna pull them at 10-7. What do you got them going this year?
I think the big matchup is going to be in week number 5, I believe, when they play Kansas City, because they just can't get over the hump with Kansas City. I think if they can win that game, it'll give them momentum going into the rest of the year, to give them a little bit of a push. But I think they're going to win. I'll take the 10 plus games over. I'll give them 11 games for this year to win.
Okay. All right. So let's move down to Miami. My boys. We'll talk a little bit about them. Going 11-6 last year, with some key additions of Odell Beckham Jr., some decent draft picks that they've had. They've kind of revamped some of that defense, some of that offense with some Judon on the tight end side. Obviously, playing the Bills, it's always a split with the Bills. The Jets always play us tough. The Patriots, I think we sweep the Patriots this year. That's the Patriots are still in rebound mode. I don't know if they'll ever get back to dominance again, but we'll see. But we also have the Niners. So it looks like we're playing the NFC West together, and the AFC South is our two other divisions that we're playing. So we have the Niners, the Texans. I think the one I'm interested in watching is us playing the Packers in Green Bay. That might be an interesting one to watch. And I know that Miami's got a handful of primetime games this year, just simply because of the roster. They want to show it.
I think the game that I think there's most interesting is going to be when they go against Cleveland. They have to play in Cleveland against that defense. Your boy might be running for his life in that game.
What week is that? What week is that? I don't have the weeks up here on my.
I do not have the weeks either. I think it's the second to last game of the season.
Okay. That might be tough. That might be some snow.
That tough, and that might be those last couple games might determine playoff position for both teams too. So,
yeah, I'm trying to pull up their actual game by game. Let's just see here. Where's my Fins at?
Yeah, so they play Cleveland. Yeah, the order's correct. They play Cleveland the last Sunday of the year, December 29th. Same thing with San. Look at the schedule, bro. Sunday the 22nd, they got to do San Francisco. Then they're home for San Francisco.
Then we're at home with San Francisco.
but then you got to go to Cleveland, and then from Cleveland you got to play the Jets. You got to play Houston, the Jets again. So you, bro, like
We
you
got a
have a
tough schedule.
gauntlet. Your gauntlet is crazy, bro.
Yep. We start the year off prime time Thursday night against the Bills at home. At home. All right. Next primetime game is going to be Monday night, September 30th against Tennessee. We have another Monday night game against the Rams, a Thursday night game against the Packers. That's the one I really want to watch. It's been a while since we played the Pack. Yeah, yeah.
Cleveland's prime
But,
time as well.
Yeah, Cleveland's prime time. Yeah. So, what's my prediction? I think we go 11-6. I want to be conservative. We go 11-6.
Man, I see you guys going like 10-7. There's no way, bro. I listen. I know you're a homer. You got to root for your team. I'm just.
I got to go for my team. I got to go 11. I got to go 11 and win the division. By the way, and win the division.
I see 10-7 all day, bro. I mean, it's you're
Dude,
not.
Our time is now,
man. You're not going to win both games against Buffalo. You're definitely not going to win.
Nope.
You're definitely not going to win both games. If he's healthy, I don't see you winning both games against the Jets either. They're going to
we'll
get
split
one.
there. We'll beat the Patriots. Both games.
I think you'll get both games against the Patriots. Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So we'll see. There's always a game or two that you're like, no, that should have been a win. Like last year against the Raiders, should have won against the Raiders.
Right.
Let that one go. We should have won a couple other games. Let him go. You're like, what just happened? Like, why? So I see us going 11-7 and winning the division. By the way, that's what I've got. So, all right, let's take a look at
New England. I think they're up next.
You want to go New England next?
Yeah,
all right, let's go to New England. Again, their off teams are going to be the Bears, Steelers. They got the Steelers. Those are their two off teams. They play again. AFC East is going to play the NFC West. NFC West and the AFC South. So, who do you have as one of the bigger marquee matchups for the Patriots this year?
The whole AFC East. They're going to have to. I mean, there's no
the NFL.
There's no way around it, man. They have to win games. Depending on who they throw in at quarterback, because I know they have their starter for right now, but that's going to change as soon as they start losing. They're going to start calling for the kid to come in, and I don't know, bro. It's going to be.
They ended up with JJ, right?
Yeah.
Or Drake May.
Drake May. Their quarterback is
Brissett.
Yeah, he's a good stand-in. He's a good stand-in.
He's a stand-in. He's not a phenomenal starter.
So he can win you some games, man. But I'm telling you, they're gonna call for May. I promise you.
All right. So where do you see them going?
I see them 9-8. I could see them as a 500 team.
You got them winning?
I can see them as a 500 team.
Oh, you out your mind, bro. You out your mind.
I can see them as a 500 team, yeah. Yeah,
no.
I can see some games.
No,
I can see
well
some
below
games.
500.
I don't know about that. I can see them 9-8. You got to remember, New England's always found the way. New coach is kind of not a new coach because he's a disciple of Belichick, so he might run.
So okay, let's do this really quick. I really don't. I mean, because I'm tripping on your 9-8. So you think they'll win a game in the AFC East?
Possibly one. Yeah.
Okay, so that's one win.
Jets. They can win against. They can beat the Jets. The Texans. No.
Texans.
No.
Okay. Colts.
Yes, they can beat the Colts.
Oof. Jags.
The Jags. If Lawrence doesn't shit the bed, yes.
Just yes or no.
Yes, they can win a game. Yes.
Oh gosh, that gives you 3. Titans.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to give them a win against the Titans.
The Chicago Bears.
Steelers.
Yes, the Steelers. Absolutely. I hate the Steelers.
Gosh,
that's a bias.
I know.
That's never going to change.
Chargers, Rams, Seahawks, Niners, Bears.
Seahawks.
So right now, that's 6 wins, bro. 6.
Seahawks are in a bad place right now, so they're not really stable. So I can see them getting a win as well.
On the high side, being gracious to the New England Patriots, I give them 7 wins.
7 wins.
7.
It's only 2 less than what I chose.
They ain't 500, bro. That ain't 500. This is not a 500 team. No way is this a 500 team. And speaking of no way being a 500 team, let's talk about the New York Jets. Let's talk about them. You think they're going to be a 500 team?
Man, I can't. I'm telling you, I can't bet against. I can't bet against a healthy Rodgers, man. I just can't do it. He's got to show me
Even
he's
with
not
that team
healthy.
that he's got?
Man, that defense wasn't bad, bro. Like
The
everybody,
defense was good.
defense was good. Like people sleep on that defense. Now Rodgers makes all the difference in the world. He can make bad receivers look good, and he's got the people that he wanted. So if he can stay healthy, that team's got a shot to win, bro. I can see them winning games. I know they can beat New England. They definitely can beat the Broncos. Buffalo, I don't see them winning. I don't Houston. I don't see them winning. Indy, they can definitely win. The Seahawks, yes. The Rams,
And
depending
he
on
was a playoff team or close to being a playoff team last year
and if I was one number off,
without Richardson.
I was one number off from winning the lottery. Doesn't mean it happened. So I mean, you just can't say that they were the playoff team because
They
they
even
worked
have their
hard.
quarterback.
It
Their
doesn't matter.
quarterback's coming back.
Yeah, but doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now. Now they have to remember he got hurt so early in the season. They were playing with another dude, so now they're gonna have to really learn how to play with their guy now. So it's
Yeah.
the process starts all over again. So you're not gonna have that same synchrony you had last season. It's essentially starting over again with a new guy. The office has to
So
go through him.
listen, they went 7-10 last year. They went without Rodgers. They went 7 and
Uh-huh.
10. Their defense got them 6 of those 7 wins.
Right.
100%. I'm going to give them with a healthy Aaron Rodgers. I'll give them a 9-8. I'll give them a winning record.
I see that. I agree with you on that. I see a 98.
I don't think they go any more than 9 wins. And nine's being gracious. I think they're going to teeter between 9 and 8, 8 and 9. See, there's no 8 and 8 teams anymore because we got 17 games. So New England last year went 4 and 13. They were a train wreck. You have them going 9 and 8
Hey,
this year?
you got to remember what they say in the NFL. A team that's garbage one year can turn around and be prolific the next year. It happens all the time, bro. You can't. I mean, you can't. It happens
Is
all
that
the
coming from
time.
a Browns fan?
It happens all the time. It's coming from a
Bruh.
Giants fan. Giants were crap the year before they won the Super Bowl, and they made a run. They were 9-6, the only team ever to go 9-6 and win the Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah.
It can happen.
I've got Miami winning the division. I got
Buffalo
a close second going Buffalo, Jets third, Patriots fourth.
Yeah, man.
Patriots are going to be the equipment managers of the AFC East.
I got Buffalo winning the division again. I still got Miami making the playoffs, but they're not going to win the division. I just don't see it happening.
And it's always going to be a dogfight between those two, which I love and I love to hate. Like I do want to see it, but yeah, I don't want to. What I don't want is to be riding on the last game and we're not playing the game. So if Buffalo wins, they're in. Like I need more than that. I need more pressure on Buffalo and not if they win, they're in and we've done everything we possibly can. Now, again, just like with anything in the NFL, it all rides around healthy players. Once players start going down in droves, things just go out the window and you can only do what you can do. So, and for the Jets to go 7 and 10 without their Hall of Fame quarterback, that's pretty crazy. So, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting AFC East with Buffalo losing Stephon and some of their defensive players they lost. Poyer, welcome to the 305. Stephon leaving, heading out, be gone. He's over with the Texans. My sleeper team for the year. This is like the 5th podcast, and I want to tell you it's my sleeper team for the year.
Keep sleeping because they're not winning the Super Bowl,
Bruh,
bro.
y'all gonna go night night.
Keep sleeping.
You're gonna go night night. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna go night night. But the Chiefs are always going to be there. As much as I hate it, they're always going to be there. And we don't play them this year, so they can't. Well, maybe we will in 17 below Kelvin. Where spit freezes in the air. People shouldn't be playing any type of sport at all ever. But we'll see. I don't know. But as a Dolphins fan, if any Dolphins fans are watching this, you know this. We're always the most optimistic right now. Always. It's 0-0. We're at the top of the division right now. Anyway, all right. So that's the AFC East. Next week, we'll take a look at the AFC North, your boys. So one of your boys, the Browns, and we'll take a look at them next week and break down the AFC North with those teams next week. So, all right, going to the last segment of the evening, and we're going to be talking a little just Homer talk. So, Francisco, talk to me a little bit. Give me some Giants. Give me some Browns. It's been a couple of weeks. So, what's on your mind, man?
So Darren Waller, they need to make up their mind on this guy. Whether they're going to cut him or let him loose, he still hasn't made up his mind on what he wants to do, whether he wants to retire or not retire. I think he's going through a mental thing right now because of the divorce of his wife. So it's kind of got him in a bad space. But they need to make their mind up because this thing's going to drag out. It's not going to be good for the team. We need to know what's what. We have plenty of people waiting in the wings to take over. Younger, faster, quicker. That will, fight tooth and nail for that position. So Giants make a decision on that. Now, Mr. Deba, neighbors, bro, you are a rookie. I don't care
You don't
what
want to
you
wear
like.
that uniform.
I don't care what you like, what you don't like. It doesn't matter. You have no say. You are a rookie. Your job is to come in and perform. You don't have that clout yet. And this is the problem with LSU receivers. This has been a known problem with receivers coming out of LSU. That diva mentality, thinking you're above the team. Bro, you haven't shown anything yet on the field for you to open your mouth and say that you don't like something. You haven't proven jack squat. Get on that field and show what you can do. Now, if you're putting up Odell Beckham numbers in his rookie season and doing the catches that Odell did and moving like Odell moved, then I can see you running your mouth a little bit because you're shoring on the field. You haven't stepped foot on that field yet to play a professional NFL game yet. The preseason don't count to me. It don't count until game 1 of the season.
Yep.
So pump the brakes. Pump the brakes on the attitude. Pump the brakes on you not liking your situation and you just got into. You a rookie. You have no say. Sign your contract, shut your mouth, get on the field, show what you can do. Then when you start putting up those numbers and start showing who you are, then you can show your ass. But for right now, keep your mouth shut and just do the work.
Bro, but talk to me though. Talk to me about this. But hang on a second. I gotta pull this up. Because this is hit, bro. 1933 jersey, 1938 helmet, 1925 pants. They wearing brown pants. Tan pants. Bro, they look like the replacements. Like the replacements.
You got to remember, they're one of the original teams in the NFL, though, bro. Their longevity has been.
Their helmets look like Michigan helmets. That helmet looks like the Michigan Wolverine helmets.
It is what it is, man. They always got to try to redesign these jerseys, to make them look like they were back in the day. Don't get me wrong; those jerseys are atrocious, but it is what it is.
They're pretty bad. Are they wearing them all year?
I don't think so.
Oh, up to 2 times. It's their throwbacks for the 2 years. Yeah,
I don't think so.
So that's the throwbacks that they chose. I mean, speaking of throwbacks, I want that. So let's talk a little bit about the Dolphins 305. The rumors are still there, man. They still talking about Tanny coming to back to Miami. Bro, I will break things. I will break things. Why? Okay, let me tell you why. Let me just set the record straight. Not only do I not like Ryan Tannehill because he stole money from the Miami Dolphins that Miami Dolphins first of all gave to him, so it's a little mutual stealing. Number 2, he's been a starter for a very long time in the NFL. What does that do to Tua?
Tua's already
what does that
shaky.
do?
He's already shaky.
That's what I'm saying. You put somebody behind him, like a Ryan Fitzpatrick was behind him, and then he's got to look over his shoulder again. Not that you don't have to always look over your shoulder because you get comfortable thinking that you are the guy. But do you bring somebody in at that caliber behind a Mahomes or somebody like that so that Mahomes is like, yo, man, what's going on here? Right? So here's the deal. I don't like the move. I don't like the move. I don't think he's worth it. I think the backups that we have are okay. I don't think we do not need Ryan Tannehill. Please don't do it. I have said I might give up football if you come back to the Miami Dolphins. Bro, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Please don't. Please don't. I can't stand a dude. Anyway, so we got that. Then on top of that, to a man. Let me holler at you real quick. What's going on, Oos? Let's talk about this. Bro, you ain't worth $200 million right now. You ain't. You've had one solid 16-game season. I'm going to give you your props. That season was phenomenal for you. Phenomenal. Breaking Miami Dolphin records, being healthy for 16 games. You did it. Congratulations. Now go do it again and win me a playoff game. And then we talk about a couple $100 million. I ain't talking no $200 million right now. You ain't Jared Goff. Sorry. I love you to death, but you ain't Jared Goff. You ain't a playoff winning guy. You haven't won a playoff game. You've had one healthy season in 5. Bro, you are one concussion away from eating soup out of a straw. And you're worth $200 million? No. Are you worth money? You are worth money. And I think the Dolphins organization, y'all need to come to an agreement on this. I don't think it needs to be some ticky-tack money and here's a $5 bill, but I also don't think it's $200 million too. I think you are worth it. I think that they need to invest in you because I do think that you are the franchise quarterback that they can build around. I think you are doing things to get yourself better where some of these people don't. You're doing the things that you need to do. You're learning from people that need to be learned from. You're trying to up your game. Listen, you go out there and win me some playoff games this year. Now we start talking contract. Now we start talking, 170, 180, 190, $200 million. But you ain't the guy that's going to get that one more dollar than the highest paid quarterback out there because you don't have the ring. So love you, man, but you ain't the $200 million man. So stop holding out. Go play some ball. Play another 16 games. And go break some more records. Go be the guy that Dan Marino thinks you're going to be. But that's it. Stop holding out. So that's what I got from my Fins. They got me a little angry and a little ups. Tannehill, retire. Don't you come to Miami. Don't you come to Miami. I'd take Daniel Jones over Ryan Tannehill right now.
No.
No, yes, I would.
No.
Danny
Come on,
Dimes
man.
over Ryan Tannehill? Please.
He's been to the playoffs multiple times, bro. He's taken the Tennessee Titans to the playoffs multiple. He's not a
on the
scrub.
back of Derrick Henry.
He's not
on the back of Derrick Henry.
A scrub, bro. He's not a scrub. He's a serviceable.
Bro, he rode Derrick Henry like a Mexican donkey.
He didn't ride anybody. That was the coach that rode Derrick Henry. Tannehill still made throws, man. You act like Tannehill's a bum. It took him time to evolve into what he was.
He's a bum. He's a bum. He's a wide receiver and quarterback close.
All right. Okay. Don't be surprised if he gets signed.
I know. And then I'm going to have to be like, do I ever want to watch football ever again?
I'm telling you, they need an insurance policy on Tua. I don't blame them.
They do. And they need a decent one. I don't think Ryan Tannehill's that money. Because Ryan Tannehill's going to ask for more money than he's worth. And they don't need to be paying. They need to be paying other people that money. They need to be talking about Jalen Waddle and giving him that money. Not Ryan Tannehill and having 2 overpaid quarterbacks in the quarterback room. Now you have an issue.
Yeah, but you have a seasoned quarterback and a quarterback. Somebody that's actually been in the playoffs multiple times. Somebody that knows how to win. Like I said, it might light a fire on the tour for him to play better, man.
Hold on. You said somebody who knows how to win.
Yeah.
What in the blue Hades did he do in Miami?
That's Miami. Like I said, he had to leave.
Do you recall where he was and started his year and started it?
He had to leave to get better, bro. It happens. There's guys who go to teams that do not do well when they go to another team. They shine. You know this.
Listen, if anybody doesn't know my hatred for Ryan Tannehill right now, just listen to the podcast, man. Listen. Just listen. Bruh, go out there and sign Kaepernick before you sign him.
Kaepernick. Man, you're
Bruh.
joking, bro.
No, man.
Kaepernick.
That's how much I don't like Ryan
Kaepernick don't want to
Tannehill.
play football anymore, man. If he did, he'd have signed already. He thinks
Get Johnny Manziel.
his ego's out of control too. Kaepernick still thinks he can demand the kind of money that he thinks he can demand. The guy's been out of the
Yeah.
league for years now, man.
I'm just not a fan of him. I don't know what I would think it would do to I don't think it would be a healthy quarterback competition. I don't think Ryan would come in knowing that he would be the backup and come in if he needs to. Like that's what I think is happening right now in Pittsburgh. Russ is constantly going to be looking over his shoulder.
Nah.
And the one bad game. Oh my God.
Nah.
Are you serious?
Nope.
Are you serious? Justin Fields starts in game 5. Are you kidding me?
Nope. I don't see that happening. I don't.
Bruh.
I don't see that.
I
don't see that happening.
Mark it. Game 5.
I don't see that happening.
Game 5.
I don't see that happen. Justin Fields needs to sit and learn. He needs to sit and learn. This is not the same offense he was running in Chicago. This is AFC.
They weren't even running an offense in Chicago.
This is AFC North football. Okay? There is a difference between what he was playing and where he's at now. He needs to sit back and learn and see what's going on. Because if not, they are going to kill him back there.
He's going to have NFC 9 North. Games to see that. 4 preseason, 5 regular season. He comes in week 6. Sorry,
you think?
I know it.
They're trying to get.
I know it. Russell Wilson's going to have. He's going to. They want him to kick return.
Right. They're trying to get him. They're trying to get Justin Fields a kick return. They tripping on that.
Nah,
that's how you hurt your quarterback, man.
Tripping. That is just dumb.
Russ
They're trying to make him into Slash.
Russ wouldn't have came there if he wasn't gonna be the starter all year, bro. He wouldn't have signed. That's the reason he signed there, because they told him he was gonna be the starter.
That's why he signed, because that's what he thinks. I don't think Russell's got it in him.
Nah, Russell still got stuff left in the tank, bro.
I think Russell's going to be bringing Denver-esque.
He was playing but see, he started playing well in Denver before they decided to bench him, because he didn't want to give up that insurance money, that clause in his contract. So I don't want to hear that. Denver still had a chance to win. They pulled the rug from him, and when they were playing well, there was
the rug caught fire. The rug caught fire because they were in Denver. The whole building was on fire. It was raining down gasoline on Denver Stadium.
I think that's one of the divisions with the shortest quarterbacks in the league, too. Because you got Russ. You got old boy in Baltimore who's not that big. Lamar Jackson. You got Deshaun Watson, who's not that big of a quarterback either. So
really, I thought Deshaun was like 6'6".
No, Deshaun's not 6'6". Hold on a minute.
For real?
Let's see here.
6'3".
6'2".
Okay, if you look at NFL.com, they gave him an inch. 6'3", 220,
yeah, he's
223.
Relatively, that's small in the NFL. You got linemen that are 6'7", 6'8". That's relatively small in the NFL.
Let's see what Justin is.
I think Justin's pretty big. I think Justin's like 6'3".
6'3", 227.
Yeah.
So he's the same size on paper as a Deshaun Watson.
On paper, yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Everybody's sleeping on Russ, man. I still think he has some stuff left in the tank, man. I'm telling you.
All right, so here's my hot takes. Houston Texans are going to the AFC Championship game, probably against Kansas City. But as much as I hate to see that, because I'm done with Kansas City, let's make it Miami. I'll even give it to Buffalo, just not Kansas City. and Russell Wilson doesn't get past week 5.
Yeah.
2 hot takes. You heard it here first on the Roaming Homer podcast.
Smoldering, because I don't see it happening, especially if they're winning games. If they're winning games, man, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, but you don't want them to win games.
No, of course not. But he's never the coach has never had a losing season since he's been in the NFL ever. Ever. He finds a way to win.
Yeah. And he's going to find another way to win in his backup quarterback called Justin Fields. So right. I'm telling you.
We'll talk about it next week. We'll talk about it next week.
We'll talk about them next week.
That's the next
All right,
video.
guys. All right. Well, that's it for us. Man, what a show. I love just chatting with you, man, just kind of chopping it up and all that. So guys, we are appreciative that you guys always download and watch this the episodes for us. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcast. Go get them. Whether you want the audio podcast or the video podcast, make sure you like and subscribe and share. It helps us out getting the word out. And so we thank you again for all the active listeners and subscribers out there already. So for myself, Caleb, Francisco, this has been another episode of the Roaming Homer podcast. And until next time, peace.